How is everyone? Hope you're all having a good Saturday. Alright, we need to do some work on the Redcat. I gotta put my half shaft back in. Where'd it go? It's laying here. Popped out last fall. I don't have the wires hooked up. Light system. Now let me see. What am I gonna have to do here? Probably gonna have to take the battery tray out. That one should be okay. Pop this thing out of the way. Take a look underneath. First time I've ever had to pop this thing this far apart. First, I guess not major issue. I cracked a steering knuckle last year, but didn't have to do any digging deep for that. That was a couple wheels and a few bolts there on the end, and that was all right. Hold on, we got one there too. It's the first time I've done this, done this deep, so I'm not sure what's all got to go here. Probably pop these shocks off and go through them and change the oils. And there should be. I could probably get that back in there without too much issue. Yep, gonna be one of those days, I see. I might need to pop that out, make it a little bit easier. Let's see. Hello. Hey, Jerry, what's going on? There you are. Now I can hear you. Not too much. What you up to? Oh, fun. I don't care if, like I say, if you guys want to get there at 11:30, we can, head out about 11 o'clock. That puts us there pretty close to 11:30, and yeah, that should work out. Gives us, we can hang out for a few hours and decide to head off when we want to head off. Yeah, whatever. It don't matter. I mean, yeah, because I think he's gonna be. I think he's planning on wrapping up like 4 or 5, so he can be back to his wife and Sunday. But yeah, I think if we get there, 11:30 noon, that should be good. Whatever works out for you guys. Sounds good. Oh boy. Well, that's something you want to check because they do tell you when you get that thing, you should you should sequester yourself for 10 days. Right. Right. Right on. Cool. All right. Sounds good. Bye. All right. What, kitty? It's still too early for you. It's too early for you. Arr. Somebody's frisky and wants their treats. All right. Pop this puppy off. We'll make this. Looks like it just too much torque and pinched up in the one spot and just pulled her out. Why I've got it out. Go ahead. Give it a little shot of lube. So I haven't really done much but sprayed this thing down a couple times, mostly with water, and then ran it through mostly water. It's actually not too rusted up. But yeah, I had problems with the side rails and then the front steering knuckles. I'll show you in a few minutes. Let me get this back and I'll go through a little bit here. Put this thing in. These are kind of a pain some days though. I'm gonna have to pull pliers though. I'm gonna have to pull the pliers out. I know that. There we go. Dang it. Push these back down better. Okay. Half shaft fixed. Get her back in, but I may as well go through do a little brushing and cleaning here. Where is my cleaning brush here? Where did my brush go? I thought it was right here. I saw it was right there. Oh, I got that one I could use. That's not the one I wanted. I should have a good heavy duty brush here. Scrape out some of this old dirt and sand. Throw a little shot of lube on the axle, so I've got it kind of opened up here, even though I can hit it from the bottom. That one I will. Okay. that one in. Okay. We'll place a little bit of Velcro here. There's only really one of them that's sticking well. This might be the pain on my neck. Probably gonna have to pop that loose. Actually, hit the slider back a little bit. Actually, I might be able to do it just by getting her lifted up. The center transfer case has got to shift just a little bit to allow room to get that on there. And pretty much, other than I do have some trio pieces on the front when my parts broke. My knuckle flexed and broke, and then the other piece was cracked up. I took and get you up out of the way. Bought some trio brass, add a little weight to the front end and then to the back to kind of balance it back out. I got the trio C hubs and front knuckles on the front of it, obviously, and then on the back of it I put on the straight axle parts, or I'm sorry, not straight axle, the portal housings. Got portal housings and carrier knuckles, C hubs on the front, and then on the back I got the portal housings, inner and outer. Yeah, I did inner and outer, not just the outer housing. Wanted to add a little bit of weight back, although I may go back to the inner stock housing just to on the backs take out a little bit of that extra weight. Yeah, I don't want too much weight, but this ain't seem to be too bad really. It seems to be pretty good for the most part. Okay, now we should be able to get that out. Okay. Okay. Lock you back down. Well, a little fur around it. Not bad. 15 minutes. I'm at 17 here on the vid. So about 15-minute little fixer upper. Over tighten those. Long tight. Okay, let's take a peek at everything else. Make sure before I put that back, we should be okay. Right. Okay. Tighten these down and it'll center us. So Velcro's working good. I'll just lock it down. Okay. Go there. So this stuff just needs to re-glued in place. A lot of guys are doing magnets. I thought about buying some, but I haven't. Velcro's actually working really well. It's over a year old now, not a year old at this point. It's just maybe a few months ago got worse, but so not too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and put this puppy back in its slot. And now. Upside down. Got her in the wrong way. Okay, now this actually, I think is supposed to come up here. If I'm not mistaken, plug into. Yeah, and there's those two. Okay, so that one then plugs into what? Can't quite remember. Should have these two plug in, and that one plug into these two. Unwrap that one once, get her out where I can get to it. Okay, so this one actually plugs in then. Or does it? Gotta remember what I did with this one. Go into that spot. Oh, I got a little. I should have it. Because those actually go into the pieces. Where's this little puppy go? I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I installed this and I can't remember where I put things at. Blinker lights there. There's one over there. I think I seem to remember I had a line cable somewhere. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Alright, everything will be here. Tied in. Somewhere I've got something that plugs into. I don't know what. these two plug into those two here. It's got to be on this side. Oh, right there. That's where it plugs into. Missing a plug here. It's like, I know it plugs in there somewhere. This one goes in there. Well, maybe it don't. No, that's a different plug. What did I do with that? I might have to go through some things. Check some things out on my lighting. These are both way. So those plug into the not. Maybe I did plug that into there, make that work, and put a little extender in there possibly. Oh, that's it. I think they do actually have a little extension wire piece maybe out here. That's exactly what I did. Made myself an extender. This actually plugs into here. And this plugs into that. Okay. So we need to do a little clean up and glue on this body. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this puppy over for now. I've got a buddy of mine doing he's having a little get together in swap meet over at his place tomorrow, and me and another couple buddies are heading over there, and I'm trying to get my stuff ready. They're doing theirs. We're gonna do that tomorrow, but we're finally here in the 60s here in Michigan, so which seems like nothing, you know, but I can't do the cold anymore. I got frostbite like 3-4 times in my hands, never bad enough to cause serious blacking and dead skin and necrosis, but far serious enough to cause severe nerve damage in my hands. And at basically 50 degrees and lower, I get about 10-15 minutes and the blood rushes out of my hands. They'll get as white as my fingernails look right now. I mean, I look dead. My hands look like there's no blood in it, like I've been dead, because it's just white, almost gray after a little while. So, and I can't move them. After about 10 minutes, I get about that much finger strength and movement, and that's all I can do. So I've had severe nerve damage from the frostbite, so I can't really do much outside anymore, and it sucks because I love the winter. I was always outside when I was younger, but when you work on metal towers in the middle of negative 10-degree weather, you're gonna end up having some problems. So if any of you guys out there are doing that kind of work, protect those digits, because that bit of nerve damage in my hands also killed not my love of winter, but my love of not my love of music, but my love of being able to play music. I was a bass player and I played bass guitar live out. I started making money when I was 15. I was making more working one night in a bar at 15 years old playing live music than most of my 18-year-old friends were working a 40-hour job at the time back in the 80s. So, all right, that's pretty good. Just gonna put a little bit of something on here. Let's see. I got some T1000 or E6000, not T1000. E6000 back here. That should work out pretty good. Because this shit does work out pretty damn good. This crap a little bit. At least a little bit, kind of chunk off him. A little bit easier. Okay. Stand up a little bit. Okay. A little bit of the snot. Right. Let this sit for a couple of hours and that stuff just get nice and solid back and held in place. Clean this up a tad. This one's still pretty dirty on this other side. Got some thick boogery glue that's dirty. It's all gummed up. Take that stuff off. Okay, that takes care of that one. For the most part, I'll probably pop the shocks off and clean those up. Now, I want to replace the shocks. On this one. Now put this one, it's an SSD kit, Trail King. RC four-wheel drive body, obviously here. I ain't got anything underneath it yet. I gotta do all that out. But I set it up in droop, as you can see. And I put 120 millimeter shocks and then stuck some liner, but it's still way too much. 110 millimeters with 5 to 8 10 millimeter limiters would have been enough. This is just, it's way too much to droop it. As you can see, it just falls right out. And I don't have the greatest mount on the shock end here. But yeah, it falls right out. So I've got to redo the shocks, and I may actually buy a set of cantilevers, but I'm just gonna put the SSD shocks back on. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do to try. What can I do here? Yeah, I'm sure what I'll do to try to mount the tops, but I'm gonna redo the shocks and put the stock ones back. That should go on that kit because they're 90 millimeters. I got to find those plastic balls for the tops, at least 3 of them looks like. I'm sure we've got those in here somewhere. Here. These out. And then whatever balls I need on the bottom. Just go in here. That's a little better. Four of these that are the same size. I think those 4 will work. That one's a different one. That one's a different one. Okay. Let's see, I got a couple clips here. Those two clips. Got these two screws in this plate. Loosen those up. More. I just undo it. Okay. That about it. There we go. Now, I should be able to maybe get these out of here. Let's see. Should I probably come right to the darn wheel with that? Should be those on this. All right, one side. I should probably actually hit him with oil. Yeah, I got the old axe out, getting it ready. Yeah, I'm going to need some oil in them. Yeah, I did my Redcat earlier. This is the SSD Trail King here. Getting little leaks around there. That's no big. It's just grease. It's a tranny. It's supposed to leak grease. So yeah, I got to redo these shocks. I'm gonna have to put oil in them because they ain't got no oil. Not enough, anyways. Not for crawling even. Unless you like bouncing. If you like rock bouncing, then it'd be all right. But yeah, for crawling, they're a little less to be there. Like I had these on here. It's 120 millimeters in droop, which they work great, but way too long in droop. And I even had limiters in them. It's just too much, way too much. So how you doing today, Eric? Good, I hope. Weather down there in the FLA looking a little better for you? Of course, I'm sure it is. Yeah, the biggest issue about shock duty anymore is the damn silicone oil. It's so snotty, it's hard to wash off your hands after a couple times. I don't know what to use though. I only got half weights in the lower weight stuff. And maybe probably some 37 and 42 in the back. Raining now. Yeah, we got a little cloudiness, but at least we're 60 degrees again. 2 days in a row, man. We're having a heat wave here. Yeah, it was almost 70 yesterday, which is nice. I've got a couple ton of dirt coming on Monday, so my back gets to look forward to wheelbarrow duty. Getting some black dirt delivered in so I can throw it in the garden and mix it in with some manure and richen up the soil, maybe get a little better produce this year. Small little house garden, but ooh, those are the fun deliveries. I just got my I ordered a couple of the 4mm spacer plates when the guys announced that they were going to put them back up available. So those are in place. I just don't know if I need them yet. And I picked up a couple of the 1.5 degree tranny anti-squat plates. So I can, hopefully work a little anti-squat or squat if I need it. I can't see why I'd want squat going on with the drag rigs, but all right, let me go ahead and pop these the rest of the way off. Just take them all off and let her flop. This poor 2mm ends is whopped. I've trimmed it off once or twice, and I need a new 2mm end for that one. And let's see what I do with those. But yeah, this Trail King, I got 2 of these Trail Kings. The other one I turned into a leaf sprung unit. A Proline would no. Unfortunately, the Proline diff has larger oversized bearings. So they're bigger than the 5x11 by 4 stock tranny bearings. So no, you won't be able to use the diff from the Proline tranny. It's pretty much strictly for the Proline tranny because of the oversized bearings. And you can't put a stock bearing on it because the one that goes on the diff is oversized as well. Both sizes, the diff size and the housing size, are a bigger bearing, so no, it won't fit. You'll have to go with a Traxxas based diff. I've been using the hot racing housings, but in one of my drag race concepts training, I've got the hot racing locker in a stock housing. Don't need a hot racing sealed housing for a diff that has no oil. So so no, unfortunately the Proline diff will not fit the drag race concepts trannies. If anybody else is listening and thinking of going that route, you are limited to the Traxxas two-wheel drive diff setups. I believe there's Hot Racing. I don't know if STRC makes one, but I think Fast Lane Machine also makes a diff. And then there is Mr. Garcia. God, I don't remember his first name right away, but he makes the Mod 1 titanium gears for the Traxxas housings, and that should of course fit in the drag race concepts because it's made for the Traxxas housing, so it should fit in the drag race concepts tranny. Oh, I got a bent screw. She's taking a couple bumps. That one's just going around corners, screwing around corners. Rough shape. I've been debating because the gears aren't so bad. It's the diff itself. Yeah, he's on Facebook. I want to say Mark Garcia, but I don't think his name's Mark or Mike. I want to say he's actually got a Hispanic first name, but not Manuel either. But his name's Garcia. He's making Mod 1 gears out of titanium for the Traxxas diffs. They're like $135 for the entire set. That's your top shaft and gear in one piece, I believe. So your top shaft and your top shaft gear is one piece, all titanium. Then that's your titanium idler gear and your titanium locked bottom gear. So it's $135 for that whole set. But I'm presuming it's everybody I've talked to, and I guess he's been doing them for 5 or 6 years, give or take. He's been out there for a while making these, at least 4 years that I've seen. On a couple other forums, I've seen his name and Mod 1 titanium gears talked about. Yeah, he's on Facebook. I don't remember his first name. Last name's Garcia. If you go to Facebook and just look up titanium Mod 1, MOD 1 / or Traxxas, you'll probably find his posts about him. He's posting over there. I've seen him post up, and you can buy directly from him. But yeah, he's got a full titanium set. I almost went with it, but I decided to go. That's when I was looking at different tranny options. I decided to go ahead and just go with the drag race concept tranny with the Robinson Racing hardened top shaft or gear. Hot Racing aluminum hardened idlers. But yeah, Garcia. I just can't remember his first name. But yes, he's got those Mod 1 titanium gears. But most people I've been talking to or reading who's been using these Hot Racing gifts, they've been pretty much solid because it's the aluminum dip, but it does have a nice hardened steel gear on the outside. So all right. Yeah, these worked in droop, but they were just way too long. I thought 110 millimeters would work. Yeah, I guess it depends on the open diff on your drag setup. I've seen a lot of people, I'm running 2 open diffs. I've got 200,000 weight with stock tranny Traxxas diff gears and a Hot Racing diff in one, and then 500,000 weight in another, and then the third one, as I said, I got just a stock diff housing with the Hot Racing heavy duty locker in it. Yeah, most people will tell you to have an open diff, or some people will say lock. I mean, you think about drag racing and scale life, most of the rear ends are a hardened, locked, welded, locked up diff. So Posi track has its purpose, but I will agree with keeping control of posi track is harder to do, which is probably why a lot of people will stick with a open diff and just minimally lock it or maximally lock it up as much as you can with 500,000 or a 1 million diff fluid. So it's still got a little bit of give as you're really catching traction as you're heading down, and that makes sense too. I picked up a slipper eliminator to put on my 13.5, even though I've got a locked diff on it, because I'm thinking 13.5, you're not going to be putting down a hell of a lot of power to get super squirrely out of the hole. So a slipper may not add too much in 13.5, but I'm thinking on the street eliminators, going to definitely want a slipper to help apply that power. Of course, well, now here's something else. Guys running the DRK, I've seen a few of them talk about moving to a slipper eliminator and a lock diff, because with the application of power in a precise method, they can apply that power and not get too much at any one time as they're gaining in their acceleration. So with some tweaking, might not have to worry about a slipper or a diff. You might be able to run them both locked. And that's something that with my DRK setup, I am going to kind of be looking at, see if it's have to. You can lock it up and get posi track and maintain traction all the way down. I think in the long run, that would, pardon me, be a little more beneficial. Any dip loss is going to be RPM loss at the tire, because if your diff is spinning, your one tire is not, you're going to be losing acceleration. So at least in my mind, that's how I'm thinking it should go. So I'm gonna have to do something here. Now these usually get shock hoops on them, but because of the body I'm running, that RC4 drive, I didn't want to really hack into the back of it. So I may actually go to a shock hoop and try to drop it down a little bit to get a little bit lower here. Don't know what I'll do for sure. I may just put nuts on the back of these two things and tighten them up. So yeah, on the hot racing stuff, that's the way it should go. Now with the R1, I'm not sure. I know they've made some changes. I looked at their units, but right as I was looking to buy is when they made their announcement on their warranty for drag racing stuff. So I kind of lost a little flavor out of it. So I decided to not go with the R1 setup at that time. That's when the DRK was just getting to be released, and I was looking at the options at the time. At that point, just before the DRK was released, I initially bought the McLaren MX Pro. So I got to get a couple screws to that, and I found brand new, unused MMR 4.5 pre-DRK drag tuned McLaren motor. It's their 4.5 MMR2 that they started modding over into a drag spec motor from the factory, and I was able to pick one of those up from one of the guys on RC Tech, brand new. He sold it to me for just a little less than the new price, so I got a little deal on it. So that was kind of nice. All right, now let's take a look here. That's right. Really, that's the only thing I got to do to this is get the shocks on it. Figure out what I'm gonna do here. So for fronts, I think I'm gonna go with, yeah, I'll put 42 in the fronts, and I'm gonna go to 32 in the rear. It don't need to be super rigid. One or two bounce and flex some, a little bit more. Actually, I should put 32 in the rear and put the 42 up front because of the extra weight up front. It's pretty much lighter in the back. But yeah, shock duty is never super fun, but it's never too big of an issue either. I still gotta, I'm thinking, go through and reset the shocks on the drag rig too, so those are always fun. Oh, let me see. These are all 90 millimeters, so it don't matter until I put them on. Looks like I have little leaks going on here. One more to wipe those down, clean them up. Grab a little green slime because I've not went through these shocks yet. Right on, right on. The first motor I actually grabbed when I grabbed the MX Pro was the Trinity 3.5. Originally, I was just going to build one setup, so I grabbed the MX Pro and then the Trinity 3.5, and didn't think about motor limits and realized that that's right on the ceiling of the MX Pro, being a 3.5 turn. I think it's this motor limit. So I started looking at some other options, and then I started looking at some other drag cars, and well, here we are today. So yeah, I've got the Trinity 3.5, and that's in my tarp with the Tekin RX8. And yeah, let me peel that back up. That right there. I was gonna say. And then I got the McLaren DRK is on the, that's the DRK ESC, and I'm running that on the Redshift, Chuckworks Redshift with the McLaren 4.5. So that both of those should be really pretty solid, especially now that Tekin's got their 280 drag firmware out. This latest iteration of it, the version 25-6, I think is looking pretty solid. So yeah, that's the 4 now because of the stock scalar one, which I actually was one of the things I kind of thought about doing before I realized there was drag racing, with all the axles and trannies and all this other stuff. I was thinking about throwing together a scaler and using the SSD motor and the SSD scale tranny. It looks killer. It'd be a great rig, but unfortunately, without the spur gear, the tranny's like 12.5 to 1 reduction. Then you got the 3 to 1 reduction of the drive shaft. So, you're getting like 16, 18 to 1 by the time you're done with that tranny setup. So it looked killer because you'd have a motor and a V8 and a tranny up front. I mean, but there'd be no speed in it, and they don't make any gear options. And I don't have a couple extra $100 just to buy gears that I think may work to try to, slide them into that tranny, that SSD tranny, and make a better, ratio out of it. So yeah, I'll actually have 4 here when the thing's said and done. Because let that set, I guess, a little bit. Get the drain. Come on, set up there. Where did my other shot go? There it is. Yeah. Once it's got tranny fluid, let's see. Probably 50 weight. I'm assuming because of the red color. Because this is usually, that's what my Team Losi 50 weight is this kind of rose red. Dripped up a little bit. Just grab another one. The paper towels are cheap. Actually, not too cheap anymore. Damn things are getting expensive as hell. Let's see. But yeah, you want to get these things kind of done up. I'm liking this kit. This is a fun little build, these Trail Kings. I got to do a little, get that set up. Locked in there. They're set up with a 2.5 millimeter instead of a 3 millimeter these two holes up here to lock that second one in. So I got to kind of do a little tap and thread and go to a 3mm to get good strength in there. And see, there's a guy down there in Florida who does waffles or raffles over on Facebook. Everybody calls them waffles because it's illegal to do a raffle. But he just put in a really nice track. He bought a place that had a little track down there and threw in a really nice track. I want to say he's around the Orlando area, I'm thinking. Might be Miami. I don't quite remember where he's at. Rich Torres, I think it is. I think that's his name. Got a nice little racetrack down that area. So if you're a off-road dirt racer, they put that up, and then they're building the black-topped spot for drag racing right next to the dirt track. And there's an old concrete, or I'm sorry, old blacktop oval track out there for like NASCAR or oval racing on pavement. So sounds like he's actually putting a little bit of work into that place. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to open up a race track for off-road and some, on-road even. Because here in Michigan, we got a limited season, being that we got, winter and snow. And a little bit of sunlight in what we can call summer, I guess. But fronts, 42 in the fronts. A little bit of juice. Ooh, I know what else I need. There it is. Need to get my pipe holder. So I used to set my shocks in if they fit. Yeah, they'll fit in there. Ooh. Helps if you open it up. Yeah, they built a nice little track. They've done quite a bit of work in like the last 40 days or so, maybe 45 days. They opened up the dirt track, and I think they're getting ready to open up the drag track anytime. But I think they opened up the dirt track like 2 weeks ago down there. So if I ever did get down to Florida, I'd like to slide over there and just to go hang out and check out the track. It looks like a nice little fun place. All right. Now we can try this. Bet you I get something out this time. A little too much in there. Let's take a peek at that. Pulled just a bit too much out. He's got a long cap in. Yeah, a little too much yet. All right, man. You too, Eric. Talk later, man. Have a good one. Okay. It's always the fun stuff. These are a little trickier to feel. Did pretty good. O-ring pinched. I think that'll work all right. Oops. Where did my damn cap go? Well, what in the wide world of sports? Really? Losing my brains. Well, wow. Where did I just put the top of that shot? Unbelievable. Okay. Absolutely losing my brains. I am not sure where I put that damn thing. Well, I could have slid it in here. Didn't even have it out of there yet. I suppose I'll go look, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Losing my brain. All right. Wash your Kleenexes before you throw them out of your napkins. I had it sticking in that other napkin and I tossed it. Didn't know it was in there. Didn't remember it was in there. Make sure all the bubbles are out. Looks good enough. Too much though. It's all too much in there. Too little. A little too much out. go. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and install these little bad boys. Okay, we'll do these the other way. Now that they're not going in group. A little bit easier. No, it does go in there. Okay, no, that's right. Go to the inside. Someone choking out there. Let's see where two rows. Run the other one. Easier in there. Those two, those. Loctite. Right, bounce. A couple in there. Okay, that'll work. I can look at that. Go ahead and okay. So I'm gonna get some. What do you got? 42.5 up front, 32.5 to stick in the rear. That cleaned up. Okay. These things move really smooth, so I don't really worry about green slime in them. Because they are very smooth already. They just need some oil. Earl. Okay. Well, good enough for what I need. Okay. Believe that. No bubbles in this stuff. Okay. That'll be all right. Let's see here in a second. Just a little bit too much. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Too much. Just a little. A little more too much in this one than in the other one, but just a little too much nonetheless. Too little. Another drop or two back in. Need a beard hair in there. There we go. Live with that. Okay, go ahead and slap these on the bottoms, and then I'll figure out where to mount them on the tops. Check, make sure go to longer ones. And I'm going to. And back goes the longer ones. Cool. Where the other one went. Not far, but it's here. Oh, there it is. I see it. Yeah, go ahead. use this instead. A couple washers, because I still ain't got enough. Okay. Couple of nuts got. goes away. Use it here. That. These all set here. They can go there. No. I think that'll work. That should give me what I need. Now, let me peek. I do have a screws that I think are the 2.5s here. Might be able to want to listen to it. Tighten up here. Or maybe not. Those are the three there. Let's see. Might get lucky and be empty in their spot. I think it's trapped out too bad. Already cracked out. Excuse me. It's probably shorter one here. Too short. Try to run with that. That should work. Good enough for now. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Knock forward some. Knock those down out the way. Get you on spot. All right. SSD's ready to go for some runs. Might be a little tricky getting that battery in there now, but overall shouldn't be too bad. Worst case scenario, loosen my pieces up and go. All right, that's those two. 2 hours. We're gonna call that one. Thanks for hanging out. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Got any questions? Ask them up, and we'll get going. Later. Have a good one.